Hello, welcome to another M15 draft. My name is Chris, and we're looking at our first pack here. So we do have a Shivan Reef. Those Painlands are not worth a whole ton of tickets. I guess I can go look what it is worth. But I think I'm just going to take the Juggernaut. That thing's just a beating. Nothing else here all that exciting. Willforge Gorm is alright. Undergrowth Scavenger is pretty good in the black-green Dredge deck. Our other uncommons, I have not yet seen Nissa's Expedition played. I don't really know if it's any good. Alright, just checking on the reef here. What was it called? It was called the Shivan Reef. And might not get it in time anyway. So anyway, I will take the Juggernaut. We stay open in terms of our colors, and I'll just see how many tickets I just passed. 1.4. Sure. Alright, here we have a Stab Wound, which is excellent. There's the rare missing, so that doesn't tell us too much of anything. We have Inferno Fist, also very good. I think Stab Wound is probably a little bit better, although red is stronger overall, but that also means that red is more heavily drafted. If we did take the Inferno Fist, then we could be pretty sure of getting some red card back. But I think I'm going to take the Stab Wound here. Just think it's a better card, and I don't think the color disparity is massive. And as I said, sometimes red is just super overdrafted, and we don't really know what's going on with the colors yet. Black has become more drafted now that the green-black thing has taken off. Alright, so here we have the red Paragon, which the white Paragon is the one that you really want. Otherwise, I'm only really excited to take them if I know I have a lot of that color. Other than that, there's not a ton here. The Tinkerer is alright. Although black-blue is not very strong. I mean, you know, I just talked about taking out of overdrafted colors, but I think the best card in the pack is Razorfoot Griffin, so I think I'm just going to take it. We've got two commons gone, which kind of screams Triplicate Spirits or Raise the Alarm being taken. Could be Lightning Strike. But Razorfoot Griffin is just the best card, so I'm going to take it, and if we don't run it, we don't run it. So here, well, there's a Sanctified Charge still here. So maybe white is open after all. That is probably the best card here. Sign in Blood is good. Scrapyard Mongrel can be good. Nothing else here really jumps out at me. So might be a trap, but I'm going to go ahead and take Sanctified Charge, but I am willing to get out of white if I need to. It's just, it has the highest upside for sure of anything in this pack. Okay, well this is a good sign for black. Very little here in terms of white. There is a decent green card, a decent red card, and Flesh of Dust is easily the best card in the pack, and it is on color for us, so that's what we're going to take. Zoff Shade is also playable, but unexciting. More good news for black here. I got the Necrogen Scudder and the Covenant of Blood. I do really like the Necrogen Scudder, but I do feel like, I mean, it can still be removed by most removal, and really you're just kind of getting in and swinging a couple turns earlier than you would, and unless you're super aggro, that's not all that big of a deal. However, removal is removal. There's 3 good black cards in this pack, 3 playable, and 2 of them are quite good in this pack. There is a good blue card. This goes late because it's just not exciting, but in this format it's really quite good. So white, again, not much there, so we might end up being cut out of right, but it might come back for us in the next pack. Um, well, there's Dream in Garruk's Wake. I mean, we do have 3 pieces of removal to survive that long. That seems deeply optimistic, and there is a Rotfeaster Maggot, which is a 3/5. I mean, the ability is great too, but even without the ability, like a 3/5 for 5 is just super good in M15. If they don't have flyers, they just cannot get through it. So, yeah, Siege Mastodon has never been better. Shaman of Spring is here in green, and it's fine. Nothing else, I mean, Solemn Offering as a sideboard card, nothing else here is particularly playable. Once again, our black is looking very, very open, so I think we just stick with it. It's really a question of whether I want a second Covenant or an Accursed Spirit. And I just don't think, I mean, I know I'm going to need creatures at some point, but I just don't think that Accursed Spirit is strong enough to pass on the removal. We do have 2 big Convoke spells now, so we want to look for some stuff that's a little cheaper. Well, this is a little cheaper. And here's a second Rotfeaster, so we have a pretty good controlling deck going that just kind of randomly has a Juggernaut. So Black Cat or Crippling Blight. Crippling Blight is really best in a beatdown deck, and I'm not that so far, the Juggernaut notwithstanding. The Black Cat, however, I'm not excited about, but it might let me convoke out some Covenant of Bloods. Sign in Blood is certainly the pick here. And this Offshade came around, so black seems very open. That was the only other black card in that whole pack. Blast Firebolt. Bit late for that too. Red looked at least somewhat open, but blue was probably the other kind of open color we saw. I mean, we'll have to see what happens here in pack 2. I mean, the Sanctified Charge isn't at its best with a bunch of white creatures, obviously. Well, we could have a third Covenant in Blood, or Covenant of Blood. That might be a bit much. I mean, we could take the Paragon, which is great if we can get some tokens. It's just really hard to see if we will. Right now, it doesn't look very good at all. The Obelisk is not really particularly strong in this deck. You really want some, tokens, both to get it out and to have a bunch of things for it to pump. I mean, Triple Covenant and Flesh to Dust and Stab Wound is, I mean, can you have too much removal? I don't know. And it's all pretty expensive removal is the problem. I think I'm going to take the Paragon, again, just for the upside. I mean, maybe I take the Netcaster instead and just be controlling. Because I don't know, white just seems super cut coming from the other direction, and I don't want to get sucked in to a few good white cards and then nothing. So here we have another Sign in Blood we could take. We have this awful thing for rare. I don't know what format that's supposed to be played in, where you have enough dragons and you need them to be +3/+3. Usually if you have dragons, then you're just killing people with dragons. So we've got the Undergrowth Scavenger. We don't have a lot of stuff to feed it yet. I mean, we could be looking for the Satyrs, the Satyr Wayfinders. But that might even wheel. Well, that's the only green card in the pack, so it probably won't. And the fact that I didn't see any Satyr Wayfinders in pack 1 tells me someone might just be in that deck. The Crow is just fine, solid. Looks a bit underrated. I mean, it comes in tapped. Oh man, okay, well, there is another Stab Wound. Definitely the best card in the pack. so we're taking it. Need some cheap creatures at some point. Well, there is a Wayfinder. So maybe we can make this green-black thing happen. And the white, as I suspect, seems pretty cut. There's also Overwhelm. Doesn't quite seem like what this deck wants to do. I mean, this deck right now is just kill all your things and kill you with 2 stab wounds, really. I could kind of, maybe a Juggernaut, but I think I'll take the Wayfinder. I have 2 things to get stuff into the graveyard, so if I can find some things to pull them back out, that will be nice. Paragon seems like it would be pretty excellent in this deck, given that I seem to be very, very heavy black. There's also a second Wayfinder, which would also be good. I mean, Paragon can kind of be a win condition, because you can give your things Death Touch and send them on in. I don't have anything to get stuff out of the graveyard yet. I mean, I could just use more cheap creatures. I think I will take the Paragon, though. I mean, I don't necessarily know I'm green. If I open some giant white bomb or something like that, I could get out. So here we have Willforged Golem, which is just a good big body. The Blood Host, which doesn't seem all that exciting. It's good defense against a stab wound. Hunt the Weak, if I end up being green, I feel like I'm pretty good for removal, which is familiar. And I do kind of need more early drop creatures. So if I end up being green, I've got a few. I think I'll take the Golem. I just want something to kill things with, and that guy is more often than not like a 4-mana 4/4, and that's pretty good. So we've got Endless Obedience or Unmake the Graves. So we have the just put something directly into play, but just one thing. Or we have the end of turn, go get 2 things out of your graveyard. So the other options here are the Charging Rhino, which is certainly better than the Moss Beast, and I suppose the Bronze Sable, but I think I'm going to take one of these. I think I want one Unmake the Graves before I want an I'll take the Endless Obedience. I feel like I can get another Unmake the Graves. Those usually come around. So I've got a Sign in Blood or a Naturalize for the sideboard. And there are some very annoying enchantments in this format. I don't have anything Death Touch to like just brick something that's too big for the Rotfeaster Maggots to deal with. But drawing cards is drawing cards, so I think I will take that. Well, I don't really want a 3rd Rotfeaster Maggot. 2 seems like enough. I mean, I think I'm pretty much out of white at this point. I could just take Back to Nature. I mean, I don't have any enchantments. So this, yeah, I think I'll take that for the sideboard. And now, this pack with all this red. So, I've got 2 Blast Firebolts. I guess, if nothing else, I'm hitting them away from killing my Rotfeaster Maggots. So we have Vine Weft and Necromancer's Assistant, which is, I think, what I'm going to take. So we could use another way to dig stuff out of the graveyard. We could also, Overwhelm came around. I'm not sure I'm going to run it, but I am going to take it. Nothing here, and nothing. Okay, so, I mean, this deck is going okay. I think I can go ahead and cut these white cards now. Watch me open a Soul of Theros or something. Oh, hey, no. All right. So I have 1, 2, 3. Are these zombies? No. I have 3 zombies, so that's not good. There's the Sly Blade, which is pretty good at being controlling. I do I would like to pick up an Undergrowth Scavenger. I feel like it will probably wheel. They tend to go late. Yeah, I think I will just take the Slide Blade here. I haven't been completely impressed with this card yet, but it holds the ground pretty well, and people just can't swing into it if... Let's see, so I've got one Wayfinder and two... Necromancer's Assistants. So I think I'm a little light on actual win conditions, so I will take the Accursed Spirit. Huh. Wow. Okay. There's a lot for us here. I don't think I want another Accursed Spirit. I don't think I want the Child of Night. I think it's between the Cruel Sadist and the Typhoid Rats. Oh, quiet you. I mean, the Cruel Sadist is slow, but it can be good. We don't... I mean, they're both things to do early to convoke stuff out. I kind of feel like I want to go for the thing with the higher upside. Typhoid Rats is very much what this deck wants. I feel like I can make the game go long, and Cruel Sadist is pretty good if I can make the game go long. So let's keep getting bigger and bigger, and oh my lord. Well... The feeling maybe I should end up in blue, but all these blue cards are kind of on the aggressive side, which isn't really what I want. So, take the Covenant in Blood. I'm going to take Crippling Blight for the sideboard. I don't know if I'm going to... yeah, I'm going to take the Covenant in Blood. I mean, I can just kill people with them, too. And we get another Flesh to Dust. Okay, well, the curve on this deck is looking slightly... oh my lord. Can I take a third Flesh to Dust? Is that completely insane? Should I be running any green in this deck at all? I mean, I only have 2 green creatures in the whole deck. I just don't see, like, this Necromancer's Assistant is just not very good. Here is another creature, so yeah, I think I am just gonna go mono black here. I mean, I don't know, maybe okay, there's an Unmake the Graves. Here's a Witch's Familiar, that's actually pretty nice. So Necrobite or Tyrant's Machine. Probably Necrobite. I don't really have a great way to deal with big threats. Now we'll take Child of Night. Alright, we have some cuts to make for sure here. Black was super open. I guess I'm pretty happy I picked that Paragon. Alright, well, 2 Crippling Blights if I want or need them. Yeah, I guess I just cut the Netcaster. I mean, geez, you know what I never picked up? I don't think I even saw Festergloom. Seems a little surprising. We still have some things to cut here. And I'm not thrilled about running a Black Cat, but I feel like I only have 3 drops under, only 3 1 and 2 drops. I don't feel like I can really get rid of them. We cut the shade. Let's see, so I need to cut 4. Can I run? I was thinking maybe I'd go 16 Lance. It's all black, but it is also really expensive. I mean, Convoke, 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 Convoke. So it's not as expensive as it necessarily appears. Alright, with a Necrobite, I'm certainly cutting. I don't really want to cut any creatures, but I don't see how I avoid it. Three more cuts. I don't have anything great to get out of the graveyard with Angel's Obedience, so I think I'll cut that and board it in, if someone has a bond, like it's great against a soul, because it's like not only do you not get to activate it, unless you can do it in response, I get to hit you with it. So that's good. 2 more cuts. Maybe I just run 1 Sign in Blood. I just feel like I can get rid of some of these 3 drops. I mean, since I have the 2 Sign in Bloods, and I have a lot of removal, and I have the Unmake the Graves, I can probably be a little creature light. Go cut the Slyblade. I think I'll cut 1 of these Covenants. I just don't feel like I can get that low in creatures. I mean, do I just not run any graveyard stuff? I mean, maybe I cut the Unmake the Graves and add back the... Well, actually, here that's... Oh, and then I cut the Necromancer's Assistance. Come on. And put in the Slyblade and the Zoffshade. That makes the curve a little better. Kind of. 14 creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of removal. 3 of which kill basically anything, 2 of which kill nearly anything. How do I actually win a game? I mean, Accursed Spirit, Juggernaut. I mean, Paragon is kind of win condition because I just give things Death Touch, and you can make them make bad trades. Cruel Sadist gets there eventually. Alright. Well, it is not as exciting as drafting mono black in M14, but it is easy to add lands to. So let's see what this can do. I mean, I guess my other option would be to play green for just a Wayfinder and a Spider. I mean, that just seems bad. I mean, am I playing more creatures than I need to? I always get stuck in the have to have 15 creatures, but that's, sort of more controlling decks can probably get away with a few less. Although I am running 2 Covenant of Bloods, and it's just like I don't they're just kind of dead if I don't run enough creatures. I think I can run with this. Alright, see you in round 1.